Welcome to my YouTube channel where dreams plus goals plus hard work will always equal success. I'm Kanika and this is my very first YouTube Motivation Monday video. Before I get into the video, I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am a teacher, I'm a career coach, and I'm a creative artist. I love to write. I pretty much love all things creative. I do a little bit of drawing every now and then when I really sit down and focus, but mostly my creativity comes through the things that I produce and my creative writing. A lot of people know me as a poet. I am working on a spoken word album that I want to release on Christmas Day, so stay tuned for that. Okay, motivation. The title of this video is Horrible Bosses. Now, I know that some of you out there are working jobs that you don't really like, or maybe you love your job, but you work with some people or for some people who are making it very difficult for you to do the thing you love and do it well. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice on how to deal with a horrible boss or a difficult supervisor. First, let's define that. What makes a supervisor or a boss horrible? Well, one, this person may be in the habit of saying things that belittle or berate you. A lot of times, difficult supervisors or horrible bosses are very passive aggressive. They do what I call, just petty little things. It's just annoying, that they don't really have to do it. A perfect example, I have had a supervisor who was about to evaluate me, and she came into my classroom. I was teaching at this time, and she said, why is your classroom so dim? And by dim, she meant the lights in the room. And I told her, I did not know. I think I had all the light bulbs that I was supposed to have. And she proceeded to give me a negative mark on my evaluation because the light bulbs in my classroom were not bright enough to her standards. So just things like that. Yes, it did happen in real life. You can't make it up. Excuse me. So that's an example of, a horrible boss or a difficult supervisor. They say and do things, that try to put you down, or maybe they never acknowledge the great things you do. They always find fault in the things you do. And the only time they do acknowledge when you do something well is if it somehow benefits them, or maybe you have guests in the building, or their supervisors, or someone comes around, and so they may say, oh, so Mr. Jones, he's great at this, but at the end of the time, they don't acknowledge the good things you do. They always find fault in what you do. The number one thing that you can do when you are dealing with a horrible boss or a difficult supervisor is document everything. Document, document, document. This is going to be the best thing you can do on your behalf to help you in this situation. I had another supervisor at one point who she tried to leave me a Post-it note. A Post-it note saying, whatever issue she had with me. And so in return, I sent her an email. Email is your best friend. You don't necessarily have to email that person, but when you send an email, it has a date and a timestamp on it, okay? So if you can, you want to correspond through email for the most part. If you have a meeting with your boss or your supervisor, they bring you in, oh, I need to talk to you, and they go, they go at it. As soon as you leave that meeting, you need to be sending an email in reference to the meeting that we just had on November 13th at 2:30 p.m. in the conference room. I just wanted to reiterate the things that we discussed. They may not reply to that because, they may think you're crazy or whatever. They may not reply, but it doesn't matter. You sent it. There's a date and there's a timestamp. Every smart comment, snide remark, any action that's done, you want to document that. And when the time comes, be ready with your documentation, okay? You saying, well, Erica always says, Erica's always finding fault in what I do. It's just you talking. But when you have documentation, when you've got on a piece of paper on March 11th at 3:30 p.m., Erica came into my came into my office and said XYZ, you know, you've laid it down, okay? And that's a lot, that will help you a lot if you are facing a situation where you have to defend yourself, which I have been in several times. I had to defend myself, and so I had documentation. The number 2 thing you want to do, well, it's not really in order, but another good piece of advice for dealing with a horrible boss is to keep your cool. And this one is hard for me, because when someone says something to me that I don't like, or if they, you know, say something to me that I know is not true, something about me, a lie, I get very defensive about that. Do not try to defamate my character. So try to keep your cool, because when you do keep your cool, what happens is you're able to think clearly. And typically, like I said, supervisors, these type of people, they're very reactive, and they're very passive aggressive. But when you keep your cool and you think clearly, you are able to see through certain situations and beat them at their own game. When you're able to use your head, use your intellect to beat them at their own game. The last piece of advice that I have for today, for those of you who are in situations where you're dealing with a horrible boss or a difficult supervisor, I want you to stay motivated, stay encouraged, and if you're truly unhappy, if it's truly a dead-end situation, you don't see yourself growing, you don't see yourself going anywhere, you have got to commit to looking for a job like it's your job. Every moment that you have, every free moment that you have needs to be spent job searching, okay? Your lunch break, if it's an hour, take 30 to eat and the other 30 to job search. Sending out emails every day. As soon as you get home, you've got to be committed to changing your life. And when you make that commitment, I guarantee you, you will see results. Thank you so much for listening. If you have ever had a difficult boss or crazy supervisor, please comment below. Let me know about it. If you have some strategies that you think others could use, let me know. I hope this helps you, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more videos, more career advice, more career tips, as well as other little surprises here and there. Thank you so much, and you guys have a wonderful day.